Hi there, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about the intervention resource we're going to be using. You can find this in STEMscopes, and I'm going to just give you a little run through of how this can look for your intervention lessons. So I'm going to go in first to STEMscopes, and I can click right here on where it says Scopes. And when I go to Scopes, I'm then going to choose my grade level. So for today, I'm just going to use the TEAC 4.2C, a fourth grade TEAC. So I'm going to go ahead and go to grades right here and scroll down to my fourth grade. And since the TEAC I'm focusing on for my intervention is 4.2C, I'm going to click on 4.2C. And the first thing I would like for you guys to do is go to the Home tab and scroll down to where it says TEACs Unwrapped. This is important because it shows you all of the breakdown of the TEAC. So compare whole numbers up to 1 billion, order numbers up to 1 billion, represent comparisons using the symbols greater than, less than, or equal to. And it tells you the verbs and the nouns that the students are going to have to be able to be familiar with. And then it also has the vertical alignment, which is my favorite part. So if I'm working on 4.2C with my intervention kids, these are my tier 3 students, most likely they are not going to be very successful with a fourth grade level intervention lesson. These students have considerable gaps in their learning, so you're going to want to scale it back. So if I think that they could be successful on the third grade TEAC, I'm going to go to 3.2D. If they have even bigger gaps, I might take it back to second grade. So I might be doing a second grade lesson with my fourth grade tier 3 students. It even goes all the way back to kinder. So you have to find the right level for those students so that you can meet them at their point of need. But I want to just show you the pieces that are included in this intervention piece. If you see this A at the top, the big A, this will just make it a little bit more friendly on your eyes. It just makes it a little bit bigger for you. And then the print button will print everything that you need in this lesson. So over here, it also has your star released questions for 4.2C, so you can kind of see where the students need to be by the time they take star. Now that I know the vertical alignment for this TEAC and I know the nouns and the verbs that are associated with it, I can go up to this intervention tab. And when I go to the intervention tab, I'm going to click on small group intervention. This is where it takes you to your lesson. Again, I'm going to hit this big A just because it makes it bigger for me to see, and it tells you all the materials you're going to need. And when it says printed materials, it gives you all of those materials on the left. So you have your digit cards that you can print, you have your place value mat, you have a teacher checklist, which this just helps you organize your groups. So this is your first group. You can put your kids' names here, what skills they're working on, and just take notes about that. And then it also has a student checkup. So if you look at the student checkup, you can see that it has 4 questions. So I may not want to give all 4 questions at once. That would take our tier 3 students a long time. What I might want to do is after a couple days of teaching the lesson, give them 1 question, see how they're doing. Then move on to the second question the next couple days. And then by the end of the week, then they can accomplish the whole checkup. And then again, here's your lesson. So it tells you how to prepare everything and it gives you the facilitation points. Now you might say there's only 1 lesson for 4.2C. How am I going to make this last all week? These lessons have a lot in them. So I would suggest breaking down these facilitation points over a period of several days. And for example, if you look at the facilitation point number 3, using the benchmarks 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, have students place their number approximately where it would go on a number line. You can change those numbers up and practice that same skill several times in 1 lesson. And so it's going to be a lot of practice for these students. They need a lot of repetition. Also, under your intervention tab, it has supplemental aids. So it has a place value chart that you can print and grid paper you can print. Now again, if I'm a 4th grade teacher, I'm probably not going to be using this intervention lesson right away. I need to make sure that I'm scaling it back to where the students can be more successful. So I'm going to go back up here where it says scopes. And when I looked at that vertical alignment under the 4th grade TEAC, I found that the 2nd grade TEAC seemed like something that they might be more successful with. So the vertical alignment was 2.2D. So I'm going to click on 2.2D. And again, I'm going to go to the Home tab and go to the TEACs Unwrapped. This is just going to give me some more information about what a second grader should be able to accomplish at the end of these lessons. And this is going to be very important because I'm not a second grade teacher, I'm a fourth grade teacher. So I need to make sure I understand exactly what this TEK has to offer. I'm going to go back to my intervention lesson and click on my small group intervention. I'm going to make it bigger so I can see. And again, it has all the student handouts, and they have it in English and in Spanish for all grade levels, which is super nice. Has the checkup in English and Spanish and the checklist. So everything is in English and Spanish. The lessons are not translated, but all of the handouts are. So again, this is the second grade intervention lesson that vertically aligns to that fourth grade TEK 4.2C. It tells me everything I need to print, all the reusable manipulatives I may need to have on hand, how to prepare it. And this one has two parts. So it has a part 1 and a part 2. Some lessons will have up to 4 different parts. Again, you're going to break this up over the period of the week. So this one for facilitation point number 4 says ask the following questions. What number did you create? So here it says ask the students to build a number between 500 and 900 using base 10 blocks. If they weren't successful with this question, when you check them for their understanding, then you can go back to number 3 and just change your numbers. Maybe put between 300 and 600 and see what numbers they can come up with, and just practice that again until they're successful. So this would take you more than one day. Again, under the intervention tab, there are supplemental aids that you can print. This one has an open number line, so you can slip this into a sheet protector or have it laminated so that it is reusable for your students. It also has, under the Elaborate tab, it has interactive practice. So maybe you've done these lessons all week, Monday through Thursday, and the kids just need some practice. You can go in and assign them. It has this green button here where you can assign it to your students. It doesn't matter if they're fourth graders and you're assigning them a second grade TEK, you can still do that. So you're going to go down, and I'm just going to show you an example of what this game looks like. So this one is on a second grade level. And it says enter a number to move the mountain goat up or down by 10. So he's on 36, so I'm going to go up to 46. And he jumped up there, okay? And it'll just be more practice like that. If we go back to the fourth grade scopes, I go up to scopes and click on fourth grade. Under that Elaborate tab, we have the Space Academy. So you can assign them this in STEMscopes as well. This is more on level. Compare these two numbers to adjust the transmitter and to hit the target. So they would have to put the correct symbol between these two numbers and hit transmit. Okay, so it's just little interactive games that help them practice the learning that you've been giving them all week. So again, you can go into your intervention lesson and print this and everything you need. You have your supplemental aids, all of these items that you can print. And if you go to the explain, I think it's explain. No, it's explore. If you go under explore, they also have virtual manipulatives. So if you're doing your intervention lesson virtually, or you don't want them to touch all of your manipulatives, then under the Explore tab, there are virtual manipulatives. So here's your place value discs. If we go back to the second grade one, let's see which manipulatives they have available. Under Explore, they have base 10 blocks. So here they have virtual, and you can also assign these to the students as well. So they can build the numbers and then compare them if they need to. I think they can also write with this. Yes. Okay. So in a nutshell, that is the STEMscopes intervention resource. I hope you find it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.